What is going on, everyone? My name is Andrew Spencer, and back to another episode of React and Attack Football Podcast, uh, where we're going to go over football content every day. And every day there's something popping off in the NFL world. So let's get going here. Um, Tonight, Monday Night Football, the first Monday Night Football this year, and it's a crucial game, division rivalry between Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. And going into this game, I kind of want to preview it quite a bit because there's a lot to talk about. Because both teams are in different stratospheres in terms of what people are expecting of them. Both of them are considered playoffs or bust. Hey, come on, guys. Well, I'm gonna have to push back a little bit because these two teams are quite frankly not the same two teams we really saw last year for a few reasons. We'll go in with the Vikings, though, the team I want to start off with. Starting off with, you know, how they've handled business last year. They had an awesome season. Just really put it together. That roster on both sides of the football, especially on the defense, it seems, and all the playmakers and what Kevin O'Connell was able to do, scheming up things for Sam Darnold to have the year that he had, which blew everyone's mind, including my own. Like, no one saw Sam Darnold going in there killing it. And I don't care that he had Justin Jefferson and all those guys. No, it's really due to KOC and his ability to really reach into his bag and make all these great plays in a very quarterback friendly offense. We talk about the Shanahan scheme, and yes, Kevin O'Connell runs different variations of it. Um, and it is meant to get your quarterback to get the ball out quickly, have the safety valves while also setting up things like play action, getting guys, moving horizontally uh, and striking down the field. And they've done a real, and so as we saw last year, all those things put together, they cruised at 14 wins last year. They didn't win the NFC, which is crazy because the Lions won out for that, which is nuts. But you go into a year, coming off a year winning 14 games, and then just because of Sam Darnold just getting eviscerated at the end of the year sucked. They it didn't look like the Vikings team of all season in the playoffs. Didn't seem like that at all. Didn't seem like they had anything going. So, but that's in the past, and here we are in the start of a new season, and the biggest question mark is JJ McCarthy, who I almost called a rookie. He's not. He was drafted last year, but he got hurt in like preseason game 2 after like a drive where he looked awesome, by the way. But yeah, he tore his ACL out for the year. So yeah, he's a rookie. He may not be like technically considered one, but in my mind he is. And it's going to be very interesting to see JJ McCarthy, and how it's going to dictate the entire Vikings season. Just like last year we counted out Sam Darnold and the Vikings because it was like, well, what are they going to do? Um, and then they were able, obviously, to turn around. Well, JJ McCarthy is the guy that they handpicked, um, guy that they believe has a ton of upside and a player that is can be kind of moldable into so many different ways. He's got a good arm, not an elite arm. He can move. He's not blazing fast, but he can move. He's pretty tough. He stands strong in the pocket. He's accurate. He can make good reads. It seems. Again, it's there's so many questions because we really haven't seen this guy play at this level. Um, Obviously, and then in his time in Michigan, where he won a natty with Jim Harbaugh, they didn't ask him to do a whole lot. And I'm not going to sit here and say he was bad by that. No, no, of course not. He with the things that they asked him to do, he excelled at, and um, that's why they won a natty. And you're hoping here with the Vikings offense and what Kevin Connell installs and all these weapons, Justin Jefferson. I know Jordan Addison's suspended, but he'll come back. Um, TJ Hawkinson, Adam Jones. Like, they got dudes, man. They got dudes all across. And not only, so it's basically set up for JJ McCarthy to come in and hopefully hit the ground running as we saw Sam Darnold do last year. Now, is it fair to say and ask of JJ McCarthy to have the same or better year than Sam Darnold had last year? I don't believe so. I think that's, again, because I consider him a rookie because he hasn't played. Um, you know, Sam Darnold actually had a crazy year last year. But if you can get like JJ McCarthy, and let's say these are his stats or something along the lines of like 28 touchdowns, 10 picks, you feel kind of good about that even because you're moving forward in the process and finding out who you if this is your guy, and that's really what it comes down to. The expectations for the Vikings are sky high, even with this dose of reality. Kevin O'Connell, just won Coach of the Year. Again, all these playmakers I'll talk about, and obviously on the other side of the ball, I'll get to that as well. But JJ McCarthy, it's really going to be about can he this season can he just play that point guard role in a way, distribute the ball well, read the defenses, get the ball out, and play safe, competitive football essentially, and that's really going to be the task. And this is a big first game for him to kind of see it because he's going up against a division rival, and you never know. But JJ, it's gonna be difficult for him to you know shrug that notion. I imagine that people have that. Okay, well, this team won double digits win last year. Why aren't they winning 10 games, or why did they only win 10 games this year? For instance, dude, if I'm the Vikings, JJ McCarthy, my rookie quarterback, essentially, gets me 10 wins. That's amazing, and it could look like a regression, but I don't think it will be the case because it's really this year's about seeing him run, seeing him operate. So, uh, as for the defensive side of the football, man, oh man, a lot of talent on the defensive side, um, and it seems that Brian Flores just has all this culmination of just evil mastermind plans in his bag to utilize this exotic defensive like blitz shit that he does so well, that he pulls the triggers and executes so well, calling these plays. It's incredible. And it's gonna be it. The roster is in such a good state that I can't. Again, it keeps coming back down to JJ McCarthy, man. It's as simple as that. I mean, the Vikings. I can gush about them all day. I mean, I really can. Um, I think even their offensive line, they got better, drafting Donovan Jackson, bringing over veteran Ryan Kelly and Will Fries over from the Colts to fill in that line. I just think that this year they're just, Christian Darrisaw back healthy. They bring back Adam Thielen, which I just think is fun because he's like, you know, lore of the legacy that he is a Viking, his hometown hero kind of guy. Adam Thielen returns. Very happy for him. And it's just another great option to have in this offense. I know they're using him primarily because Jordan Addison's out. Dude, getting Thielen, who was still incredible at the slot last year. He's still a really good player. He's not as athletically dynamic as he used to be back in his earlier days, in his prime, obviously. But dude, he's still Mr. Reliable. He's awesome. Oh God, you know, I can gush about the Vikings all day. I think they're gonna be a damn good team. Um, and this is a big first test, but uh, it's who knows, man. JJ, gotta see it. Gotta see it. Love to see it. Would love rooting for the guy. It'd be fucking awesome, but we'll see. As for the Chicago Bears, completely different team. Completely different team from last year. Last year, I think the Bears won 6 or 7. Forgetting off the top of my head. It was an abysmal season for them. and which really sucked because last year they had way more hype. They had they had so much hype going in than the Vikings, I should say. Way more hype than them because it was like, and they got Caleb Williams, number one. It seemed like they fleeced the Panthers. They got their guy that they wanted all along, and Caleb. I'll get into him in a in a second, but Caleb looked good, but at the same time, there was just so many struggles with Matt Eberflus at the helm, and the team quit on him. I think after that infamous Tyreek Stevenson play on the Hail Mary, I think the team after that fell into a funk that they could not shake out of. And hearing so much stuff about how I think they're earlier on their offensive coordinator Darrell Bevel wasn't scripting plays in the first, and to a point that Caleb Williams and the receivers were like, "Hey, like we should do this," and they're like, Matt Eberflus was like, "Okay, you can go ask and see if that's a good idea. If you think it's a good idea." It's just stupid shit. It's like, dude, this is the NFL, man. And it's crazy though because I sit here and people, I'm not talking like the Bears were a complete dumpster fire last year. No, they weren't. They have talent on this team. It's just the team quit. The team quit. There was too many lumps. The offense didn't know what the hell they were doing, despite having all these weapons. I know Keenan Allen's gone, but last year going into it, it just seemed so awesome. Well, now they bring in Ben Johnson, former offensive coordinator of the Detroit Lions. He becomes the head coach there, and yeah, man, Bears fans, I your excitement's through the roof. Yeah, mine too. This is the first time that I'm like, yes, the Bears actually made a great move at coach. I've always I, I was kind of bullish on Matt Nagy. I remember kind of liking him, and I know it's way off topic, and he obviously flamed out. Um, but this is the honestly the first coach I can remember in a long time that the Bears that I'm like, yeah. And but we got to backtrack a little bit. Ben Johnson has never been a head coach. And despite all the crazy, insane success he had with Detroit, is he going to be able to replicate it here? And right off the bat, so many changes on this team. They revamped not just the whole playbook, but they revamped the offensive line. They drafted Colston Loveland, another weapon in this room, which is just wild. They have so much firepower in that receiving room, so many different options, and obviously the boost with the offensive line. And you're just hoping, yes, this is a new system for Caleb Williams. There is some patience that I think we need to have. I'd say give it a couple weeks before we really see this all get going together. Um, but Caleb in this new system, and boy oh boy, if they're able to get anything going like that Lions team, uh, and how they were utilized under Ben Johnson and all these trick plays and utilizing and just getting this run game, getting the offensive line first and foremost just ready, ready to win, to rumble and keep their guys up and create and rumble for these running lanes. Uh, as we saw there in Detroit, and now Detroit, different offensive line, different players. I'm liking what they're doing right now. You fast forward or you rewind 2 years ago, I'm like the Bears offensive line is one of the worst in the league. This year, I'm like, okay, like we got to see it still, right? We got to see all these guys and all these new faces coming together and putting it together. But I have so much confidence in it. Very confident in this whole process. Now, that being said, Ben Johnson's never coached. Like he still hasn't been a head coach. We just do not know in that sense. And so this is a huge game for both these teams coming in. And some of my predictions I have for this game, I think Caleb Williams is going to struggle early on in this game. I really think that Brian Flores is going to come out swinging because they know that they need the defensive help with JJ McCarthy in a very similar situation. But I think that this Bears offense is going to have a few hiccups the first couple weeks. And I could be dead wrong. They could destroy the Vikings tonight and make me look like an utter fool, but that's just the way I'm viewing it. My predictions here. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say Caleb Williams is throwing 3 picks or something crazy. No, I just think that he's going to struggle. He's going to miss some throws. He's going to take a sack because he holds on to the ball. Um, he got a little bit better at it last year, but he likes to make the big play, man, and that's the reason why he got drafted #1 overall. To be fair, but um, yeah, I'm just very curious to see how this is all going to intertwine together on its first day, and especially against the vaunted Vikings defense and Brian Flores and just everything that that team can do. Um, as for the Vikings and my prediction for them, I think Justin Jefferson is going to have a good game. Uh, I think he's gonna really put in work um, on the targets that he's gonna be given because they're gonna scheme up some good dig routes to him, layup throws essentially for JJ. He's gonna be open in space, get those plays, get those chunk plays. We'll see. Um, I am curious to see on the Bears side, running back Kyle Monangai, and if he's gonna get really anything uh, going because the run game has been the biggest question mark for the Bears. I, man, the more and more I keep thinking about it and how this Bears team, despite how thrilled I am about them and optimistic, this Vikings front man and just they're gonna try and stop, and I believe that they can easily stop and take away uh, this what the Bears want to do primarily and what Ben Johnson's hoping to do. So this is gonna be a great game. I'm gonna say my final prediction for this game is gonna be 27 to 17 Vikings as they take a late fourth quarter touchdown to just basically seal it. Um, so that's my prediction. But again, um, excited to see what happens. Um, First week of football was so great. Let's end it on a high note, baby. Thanks.